co-star, and he couldn't come, so I'm very glad you could come here and fill the space, you know, having the breathers here, very cool. Okay, Kim Deal, Kelly Deal,
Right.
these are new guys in the band. Who are they? Can you please present them to me? Who are you? Who really are you?
I'm Jose, I play the drums.
Okay.
And this is Richard.
Play guitar.
Mondo, I play the bass.
Okay. How long have you been together?
3 years now.
3 years.
Yeah?
Tres años.
Do you feel like a band right now?
Años.
Oh yeah.
Do you really feel like
Yeah.
a band? Yeah?
I think we went through all the things bands go through.
What was the moment that really defined you as a band?
We started hating each other?
Yeah. When the honeymoon was over.
Yeah, when was that?
Yes.
When was that? In like touring?
I was in
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah, about 2.5 years ago.
I was
Yeah.
in London, actually.
In London, yeah.
In the moldy apartment.
Oh,
Yes.
in the smelly apartment.
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you from the same city? Do you live like near each other?
Sort of.
Yeah.
These two are from Ohio, which is in the middle of the United States.
Okay,
Me and him are from East LA,
okay,
and he's from Illinois but moved to Hollywood.
okay. But when you start like playing, do you have to live like in the same place? Where did you met?
New York City.
Okay. You used to spend a lot of time in New York?
Not really. I was just visiting, and these two were playing with this punk band named Fear.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Fear? Have a beer with Fear? And I had a beer with Fear. And we played in the studio one night. I couldn't find a band. It was like 1998. Everybody was Pro Tools, loops, Pro Tools, Pro
Yeah.
Tools, Pro Tools. I couldn't find anybody to play with, and I ran into these guys and we're drinking with these guys because Fear had a show in New York City. And I just said, oh, you guys want to play at the studio? And we played all night long. And I asked them where they lived, and they said East LA. I said, okay, I'll move out there.
Okay.
That was in March of 2000. I was out there by June 2000.
You're living in LA now.
I live with my mom and dad now.
In LA? You're like a singleton. Are you a singleton?
What's that?
Like a single woman that lives with their parents and
Yeah.
spends all her
In
allowance?
In Ohio.
Yeah, in Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay, the Breathers used to be like a band you formed when you were like little kids. Is that true? Like a band you used.
Basically, yeah.
How young were you? Like 13-year-old, 16-year-old?
16, 17, something like that. We used to, we were too young to be able to get into the bar legally.
Okay.
But since we were playing, we could get in.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Slow
it was
Gin Fizz.
Yes,
it was an excuse for partying.
Slow Gin
It
Fizz.
still is.
Yeah.
Slow Gin
Until about
Fizz.
3 months ago.
So and with that band you used to play like in bars and all that stuff. Did you ever like record something?
It was Dayton, Ohio. We weren't in a band. It was
Okay.
just me and her. I played acoustic guitar. She played some bajo.
I sang like this.
No, she didn't.
And when did you decide that you were gonna be like a rock star, or spend the whole life?
I went to Boston. I met some people who played with me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Sad.
the Breeders became like huge, like for us, when indie music was very like in the market, or was like so in vogue that even Kurt Cobain's wife ended up being a celebrity. So, why do you think nowadays things have changed? Is it the Republicans? You can tell me. No, but that's my theory, you know?
Your theory is what? Because
Yeah.
I want to hear
Whenever the
this.
Republicans come into office and
Yeah.
the music comes in, it might be true, you know?
Yeah, you know, it happened with Debbie Gibson and Tiffany.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but that
Oh,
was...
that's pretty cool. We'll have to research that.
Yeah, but why do you think things are
maybe.
different nowadays?
Because when Reagan was in office all those
Yeah.
years, you had all those, the underground
New
music.
Kids on the Block and all that kind of stuff.
Well, Husker Du and we're backwards
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You're
anyways,
saying bad
Still
politics,
Republican.
good music, or good politics, bad music?
I think that when
Less than bad.
no.
He can't answer that question.
Republicans in the
Oh,
office,
good,
you
good, I
have
can't
Britney
repeat it.
Spears.
Say it again. Oh, no.
I thought
see?
if Republicans were in the office, then you had pretty good music.
Yeah, because
Yeah, but in the underground, but not in the like in the
Right.
Billboard.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much bad in the Billboard all the time.
Yeah.
though, isn't it?
No, but there was a
See.
time when when we could have like Nirvana and we could have like bands like I don't know.
Who else?
Pearl Jam. Okay, look, don't laugh at me. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean when like indie music was heavily played on MTV.
Right.
Why
Like what
things have changed
That was
right
only
now.
till 92,
Back to the
though.
good music. Which
That
part?
was just to 92. When Clinton came into office in 92, then you started having the gangster rap.
Ah, okay.
And then you got all that.
Okay.
And then you got the candle boxes and everybody after the Nirvana. For just as, it's Reagan. Reagan had the good music. I think it's Republicans in office, good music out.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, but why? But do you think that now America's like listening to good music?
It was better than it was before Bush came
Yeah,
into
well,
office.
with Pink kind of music. What has happened to the indie band? Why isn't
They still
selling?
exist.
Yeah, no. But why haven't got the same airplay?
What about the White Stripes and Strokes?
Yeah,
and-
it's all coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
because
consider
Republicans are in
do you
office.
consider like the White Stripes and the Strokes like a good example of indie music?
Not really indie music. I think what's called alternative music is the mainstream now.
Yeah, but
Alternative music was in the 80s, was like college music, you know?
Okay.
But now alternative
I don't
music
think
is like,
that.
What do you
alternative
think?
music now is like opera or something, you know?
Right, yeah.
So, it's
Okay.
just rock and roll.
It's new metal popular now, isn't it? New
No,
metal?
that's passe. That's
Oh, it's
Limp Bizkit's no
Limp
good now?
Bizkit, yeah, that's gone.
It's
What about Sum 41?
It's pop punk stuff now.
Yeah, they're still
Sum
pop.
41.
The Breeders' music. What kind of
182.
music is pop, punk, girl riot? How could you define it?
Challenging art music.
Yeah. Okay.
Trailer
Loud
Park
rock.
Goth.
Yeah, anyway, now that we have been starting to talk about the Republicans, I really want to, because I don't have much opportunity to talk with people who live in North America.
Okay.
What's happening with the Republicans? Because I'm reading this Michael Moore book, Stupid White Male, and for me it's like so incredible. Like he didn't win the election. He has taken decisions in the office that has been really like frightening. Trent Lott saying the things he has said. Why America, that in my point of view is intelligent people, they have fought for their civil rights. What is happening now? Why are they like allowing Bush do all the things he's doing? Have you got?
One good thing about Bush being in office is that Lott felt comfortable enough
it's a
to
mole.
say,
Yeah.
Shit, I'm sorry.
Security.
I went
Sorry
to,
about
yeah. No, I have a bigger one here.
Leave that alone.
Yeah. Okay, you were saying. Why American people is like so like not saying anything?
I think it has to do a lot with September 11th.
Yeah.
It freaked everybody out in the country because nothing like that ever happened in our country. So now Bush has his own agenda and can use that, like the memory of 9/11, say, okay, we're going to go for Osama bin Laden. And now he has his father failed in taking Hussein out of Iraq in the beginning, so now he's going to go finish the job.
Yeah, but it seems like the American people is like doesn't giving a dime for it.
That's not true.
Okay, I have something to say about
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Okay, now what I don't like about politics on either side is extremists.
Okay.
Totally anti-democratic, anti-left for the
Yeah.
sake of it. And equally as heinous
Yeah.
is totally anti-Republican without even thinking, just so anti-Republican.
Okay. Tell me good things
That
about the
bothers me.
Republicans.
Now, when you mention things like Trent Lott and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you're talking about a Republican who's so far extreme, even the Republican Party doesn't like back him up.
Okay, he was like the Republican chief in the Senate. He was like,
Not anymore.
Not
yeah, not anymore.
Because Bush
but he
was
used
there
to.
and he felt okay to like show his ass
Okay.
a little bit.
So,
So then he
I'm
gave
not
him a
saying
dance.
that either one are equally. I think, it's like the worst of the lesser of two evils when you get
It's
to
all
politics.
balanced.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people is
All
caring.
balanced.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what?
Yeah. Many
He's
people
caring.
care in the United States about what's going on. in the
Oh,
world.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, when you talk about like these really right-wing Republicans, you're only speaking of like it's like that guy in France who almost got elected. Who's that guy who's
Like
crazy
Le Pen?
right-wing?
Le
Yeah,
Pen?
Le Pen.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's like mentioning that guy and then determining that all of French politics and all of French people,
Or like him.
how could they let this guy even run for office? I mean, how did he even get as far as he did?
And they kind of don't
What the
care because
hell?
they know he ain't gonna win.
Exactly.
Oops.
And And then, you know, like,
Yeah, but you know.
Janine Garofalo?
Yeah, I love her.
I do too, except I saw her on this Bill Maher HBO talk show. And I totally lost so much respect for her.
Why?
Because she argued badly.
Oh, okay.
I agree with what she was saying, but she didn't use any logic and she didn't argue well, and it bothered me.
Okay.
She was like, this one guy who was Republican, she's totally liberal, and I was digging the back and forth from it. I was into it. And then she got down on this guy for saying, how dare you say that this one guy holding up a sign indicates that every cab driver in New York is Lebanese or Iraqi or from Saudi Arabia. How dare you put everybody into that stereotype? You know what that's like? Oh, and then blah, blah, blah. She went on and on about that, and like so insulted by that. And then, not 3 minutes later, they were talking about country music, and country music, there's this big patriotic swing of, I don't even know the song titles. They're crazy, the song titles are. How do you do that to America and wait for our boot to get in your ass? Yeah. I don't know what the song titles are, but those are pretty good ones. And so she started talking about country music. Now, my mom and dad are from West Virginia. We live in the hills. You know, I like country music. And she started talking about all these shit-kicking country people who are waving the flag and won't let the flag burn, and that they're idiots, that they're all idiots. All people who listen to country music, according to her, are idiot Republicans who want to start a war.
Okay.
That's what she said. I got so mad at her. I was just like, I'm okay with her having that idea.
Things are like that in America right now.
One,
it's like divided America right now, more than...
Janine Garofalo?
No, the whole America is like politically divided. Like, if we compare it from 2 years...
No, you know, most of all America that I find, we're just kind of reasonable people.
Okay.
We're kind of like, well, you know, if
as
this
opposed
was,
as Republican
if you
or
look at
Democrat.
the world as like a block,
Yeah.
it's like your block, your street. You know, there's a guy down the street. You know, now he's kind of crazy. He's got a history of violence. He lives on my street. And you know what? I know he's got hand grenades. And I got my kids and my dogs here. Now, is he going to, you know, I know he has hand grenades. I'm not sure, but I heard that the DEA was in their house last week. And they've got grenades in there. Now, that bothers me, you know. So, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where, you know, at what point do you say no war? At what point do you say no war? I'm not, and I am so not saying let's have a war. Okay. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
let's think and
I'm
let's
actually
be more
curious.
reasonable.
When do you say let's have one? When it explodes?
Yeah, but it's like, you know,
I don't know.
But it's how they won the election and all that kind of stuff.
Well, nobody agrees with that.
Yeah,
that was just horrible.
So let's talk
and
music
it's still
again.
Horrible.
Let's talk about music again. Okay.
No, you got me started.
Yeah, you got me started with the Republican
thing. Well, you know
thing.
what do you guys think about that whole? No, nothing ever came from that. I mean, they changed the ballot system down.
Yeah, that's
Florida.
why I think America doesn't care, because like they win the election in front of your nose in a very bad way, and nobody questions that.
Well, you know,
the only one that has questioned is like, you know, Michael Moore. Yeah. Nobody else.
Yeah, you know, and he's a sane person that has no stereotypes and no, you know, preconceived. You know, I don't believe everything he says either. You know.
Right.
And I think it's a good thing. You know.
You are messing with my Michael Moore.
You know, you shouldn't.
No, okay.
Don't believe anything that anybody says all the time.
He has a very strong opinion. He makes some good points, but that doesn't mean he's right all the time.
Absolutely not. So. And you know, we also come from Dayton, Ohio, where he wears that Union flag.
Yeah.
You know, my granddad died of. He was in the UMW, United Mine Workers. He died of black lung. Unions are a good thing, but they can also be. I mean, I don't know how many friends I have that drink before they go to work, drink the whole time during work, and will never get fired because they're union.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a Detroit boy over there too. I mean, their union is good, but it can be abused, just like everything. I think tolerance, moderation is the best.
Is there like any Republican indie band?
I used to vote Republican. I haven't voted for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the economics of Republicans.
Reaganomics.
I am not necessarily Reaganomics, but the economics of Republicans.
Okay.
I like it better than Democratic.
You used to vote
Democrat. And the reason why
I've never voted for the president ever.
No.
I've never.
You don't rock the boat?
No, I don't rock the boat. Exactly.
Okay.
And the reason why is because like JFK, he's basically the one that brought in all the liberal things of welfare and the strong union stuff. And I think all that stuff is really good.
Civil rights.
But like, no, not civil rights. That's a whole separate
Okay.
thing. But that's good too. But that has nothing to do with actual money. But like the policies that he did about the government, like, you know, decentralizing government and also giving away a lot of programs to help the poor and stuff like that. I like all that stuff. But that was how many, 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And it starts to get out of control and begins to have a life of its own.
People
and you
start
do
being
need to have
lazy.
to control that
Yeah.
somehow. I don't know how. Nobody knows how.
Yeah, but do you know
But just
the
don't
best
say that
records?
it's-
Best records in history, you know, in English, like in Britain, British history, were written because of welfare. You know, those musicians woke up. They went to
Dole.
I disagree. Most of the rock bands are on trust funds. Like you got
In America, you mean? Or in England?
in England. Like you
like
know,
they're
the
on the
Strokes, they're trust fund kids. John Spencer Blues Trust Fund kids. Courtney's Trust Fund.
what do you mean by trust fund?
Their
money.
parents are rich and they have a trust.
Okay, like Justin Friedman and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
The Elastic
yes,
Background?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Trust fund kids.
Let's talk about music again. You,
I thought we weren't.
they told me that you are like, you know, an analog freak, meaning that you like analog sound a lot. What's the problem with digital sound?
I don't have a problem with digital. Digital people have a problem with me.
What kind of problem?
Well, I went to a studio in New York City. I couldn't find anybody to play with. This
Yeah.
was like in 1999. And I went to no, it was in 98. I went to a studio in New York City called Baby Monster. It's closed down now. And it was just me. I learned how to play the drums. I could play a little, but I learned from the beginning to the end to play for real. And I put down some drums. And then I was going to play the bajo over it, the bass.
Yeah? Don't patronize me.
But I know I'm patronizing myself, actually. And I wanted the kick drum and the bass guitar hit to flam. That means they don't hit at the same time. They go,
Okay. Okay.
and in the middle of those two beats, I was going to seam that up with this moog. And in my mind, it was going to sound like. You know, the fact that it would be flamming would mean that the beat would be really wide on tape. Not because of compression or tape saturation, but because the beat would just be wide because of the time between this. That would be a
Okay.
big beat, wouldn't it, you know? And I'm paying the money, so I'm allowed to do whatever I want,
Okay.
even if you think it's a dumb idea. So he had just gotten his Pro Tools, the house engineer, and it was just me. And I said, you can turn that off. I'm just going to go on 2-inch tape. He said, okay. The next day I come in, I'm doing the bass guitar over the drums that I laid down. I see that the Pro Tools is on. He said he was doing his bills,
Yeah.
his checks. I said, that's fine. And I see my analog tape spinning and spinning. I go out and I play the bass guitar. And I come back into the control room, and my kick drum and my bass note are right on top of each other. Well, no big deal. I did something wrong for some reason. You know, I haven't played everything myself in a 2-inch track before. I'll just try it again. I tried it again. Tried it slower. I tried it faster. I thought, I suck. What am I doing? I just suck. 3 days go by, and some B-boys come in, some friends of mine from Ohio. And they said, Kim, come here. Did you know the guy was sampling you? He's taking one of your kick drums and 2 of your bass guitar beats, and he's sampling you. And that's what. And after that, I went to Steve Albini.
But are you gonna work with Pro Tools anytime soon? Is it like in your like agenda?
To sit in front of a screen with a mouse, I mean, would you rather do that, or would you rather have an SVT amplifier and just, you know,
Yeah.
play what sounds good?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it sounds
It's not like
good.
your cup of tea.
Not really.
Okay.
Some of the keyboards, some of the digital sampling keyboards are fun. The Ensonics, those can be fun, you
Okay.
know. They're really fun.
Okay, and 2 last questions. What's like, this is totally out of context. What's the best movie about rock and roll you've ever seen?
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap.
Did you saw like
Spinal
the
Tap.
Mighty Wind?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just saw that.
Okay.
It was good. It
Yeah.
was cute.
The Spinal Tap for all of you.
Spinal Tap.
And Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Okay. So, and what are we gonna see on Thursdays? What did you say?
That was a good musical. I don't know if it was.
Yeah, Hedwig and the
necessarily-
Angry Inch. Have you heard of that?
No.
Hedwig and the, oh, it's a really good
It's kind of
movie.
about
You
a
have to
band
get
being on
it.
the road.
What's the year of the movie?
2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We do a song from that.
Okay. You were on Buffy.
Tonight!
Yeah. Did you met Alison Hannigan?
No.
No.
I did.
Oh,
Who
I
did,
did
who
in
did you
the
met
makeup
from the
room.
show? Who did you met from the show?
Willow,
Yeah.
Dawn.
Don, how's Don?
Xander.
How's Don? How's that little
I don't
child?
like her character.
No.
So
I
wasn't.
she's fine. Did you meet any of them, Jose?
But you are a big Buffy fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is it my idea or Sarah Michelle Gellar doesn't really get along with Spike? Like, you know,
don't think she
can you
gets
tell
along
from the
with
sex
anybody.
scenes?
We heard she was a bitch.
She's a bitch.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, she might be. I'm sure.
We met Seth Green too.
Seth Green,
yeah,
is he cool?
Oz. Yeah, he was so.
He went to the
nice.
show.
He went to a show.
Josh
we didn't
Whedon.
meet him there.
How is Josh Whedon?
Don't know. We didn't meet him.
Ah, you didn't
I don't
meet
think we
him?
did. Did we?
No,
Okay.
Was he even there?
No.
Okay. So on Thursday, what are we going to see? What are we going to see on Thursday, breeders?
Inappropriate.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that's like the worst question ever, you know?
Oh no, I just thought of something really inappropriate. Just stupid.
Yeah, but what are you gonna, what do you
see
expect from
who's
the audience?
there.
What do you expect from the audience?
I don't have any idea. We've never played in South America.
This is your first
This is our
time?
first time in South America anywhere.
Yeah.
This will be
Okay.
our first show.
Yeah, and we got a really good audience here.
Really?
Oh, good.
Yeah, we are proud of our indie audience. We got
Yeah,
really
they know
good.
everything. We were
Yeah.
doing a radio interview today, and we were talking about the song from Title TK, and why we don't play it live anymore.
Uh-huh.
And one of the reasons is because the move that we use
The one
during
I
it,
was talking about, the move,
yeah, it's really temperamental, and it used to belong to Timmy Tyler, who was in Brainiac. And I went, oh my God, I'm getting too obscure. And I went, hey, have you guys heard of Brainiac? And the people in the sound booth went,
Yeah.
I mean, people in America don't even know Brainiac.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
another Dayton, Ohio
Welcome
band.
to Chile.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was really impressive. Yeah.
Okay. Let's give a hand for the breeders. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased of meeting you. We listen to your music a lot, so it's really cool. We are gonna go with a video. I don't know if this video is that good, but anyway, Iris. No, it's one of our favorite videos. It is an intro. When we disappear, you know, like we say like this.
Okay.
These are the breeders in the Interruptor.